Hey y'all, Lily here. I am trying a slightly different way of recording today because my normal way of recording research is off of my phone, which is currently in the process of uploading a video that I uh, just shot to the cloud. So that's being used, but I also to where I'm doing these research is now on my own without you guys streaming. I did like it when you guys could see my screen, so I'm going to try and keep that same feel going. I hope you guys can see everything okay. This is, I'm even recording it all differently in a different piece of software than I normally do. So hopefully it all works. But today we are looking back at, let me hope I pronounce this right. Sica Valley. No, Sica Hollow State Park in South Dakota. Sica. This is going to be so hard for me, guys. Like, my mouth does not like to wrap around certain words, and apparently these two sounds so close together are very hard for me to say, but Sica Hollow State Park in South Dakota, where we have a lot of interesting things. Let's see. It means the Sica means bad or evil. There's mineral deposits that turn the water red, but the local legend is that it is water in the blood. There's been disappearances in the 70s, possibly linked to Bigfoot or a bear, or who knows what. There is reports of half men, half beast, shapeshifters, half men, half horses. There's something that's running around on two hooves. Let's see. There's quicksand in the areas. Oh, I am trying to read my own handwriting and it is absolutely abysmal. There's dense, pull this away because, this is bad handwriting. Densely forested gullies and harbor ravines that drop several hundred feet. Swamp gases and glow in the dark stumps, and small echoing waterfalls which give off weird sounds. And we all know about the will of the wisp and how that a lot of people seem to think that it's spirits. That's still fun. Okay. Origin story. Well, we have a lot of origin stories. I do remember on this one. Let's see. We have several peaceful Native American camps were wiped out by a spirit who was I can't read the name, but yeah, my handwriting is very bad on this. Who sent a messenger to rid the land of an unwanted visitor, but it ended up in turn killing nearly all of its residents. There's lights in the sky. Along with this origin story that I just told you is the origin of Hand, who took from the land without giving back. God, you guys, bad handwriting. Thunderer was, I believe, a god who flooded the village. The Civil War army tried taking the Native Americans out, and they went into the hollow and were never seen again. Some say... Wait, said to have... I can see the word cursed on here. I can't make out the rest of my handwriting. God, you guys. My notes when I am researching are, if you can see this, they're rough. I have cats making noise. I apologize. Oh, we have a dead man's curve nearby where cars have gone over but never been recovered. Sounds of moans, groans, and screams. A Native American village was found and excavated near Roy Lake, which we have Robert Roy, who was the first white settler in the 1840s. A lot of things are named after him in there. See, cold spots, feelings of being watched, apparition seen, and drums at dusk. Reports of bobcats in the area, which can grow up to 30 to 50 inches. One report of cat prints with a 5-foot span and reports of a large brown bear sighting. I don't really have the years for that. I don't think there were years, or I would have written them down. Lots of animals in the area that are rarely seen, which is a bit odd. You never see blood on the ground, even around like carcasses of animals. Trails often seem longer than what they are or seem to repeat themselves, so you kind of get lost in a loop. Small campfires can be seen in the distance, but are never located when searching. I'm not really sure if that goes along with the glowing stumps, or if if the glowing stumps are more of a greenish color and the campfires are more campfirey in color, but that is what we are all here to find out today. But we are going to get back into it. I don't remember much. It has been a minute since I have done this research for South Dakota, and going to try and say this right on the first time. Sica Valley. Why do I want to call it Valley? Sica Hollow. Sica Hollow, not Valley. Y'all are going to have so much fun watching this. A lot of this probably is going to get edited out because I do tend to ramble. If you are the type who likes to watch these full streams, full rambles and all, I encourage you to become a member over on buymeacoffee.com/thelilylore. At the $5 tier, you have access to my full library, including all of the goofiness that falls out of this mouth that lands on the cutting room floor. So, let's see. Where are we? Hollow, yes. Here we go. Like I was like resume browsing as if I remember what I was browsing, like where I was in my browsing. We're going to have to look at a few things possibly a second time. I'm also limited on the way I am doing this to 30 minutes at a time, so we know that's not going to happen. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, this is a brown sugar and cinnamon coffee. Oh, it's so good. I got like one of the last boxes at the store when I saw it, and I am so excited for it. It's really tasty. All right. My mouse just froze. Why did my mouse freeze? There we go. I can do nothing without incident, right, y'all? But y'all love me anyways. I kind of know. I know I've already looked at a lot of this stuff, so it's like slowly coming towards me. You know what? We're going to have a little fun before we do this. Before we go too far. Of course, my ad block has updated, so it's got to tell me. Here to YouTube. I'm not logged in. This may end up being a little bit of a thing. They got the eagle's nest. I love watching the nest cams this time of year. They're always so fun. If you ever get the chance to watch the Purple Martins Conservatory, that is a nice little one to watch. Sometimes a little bit sad because, you see the real life things of mommy and daddy birdie laying the eggs, and then sometimes you have predators or other males that come in, or mom will fly off and not come back, and it's always a bit sad, but I always hate it when this word pops up, skinwalker. I do remember us talking about this on the last stream. I don't like skinwalkers. I don't want there to be skinwalkers. I don't want to have to research skinwalkers. But here's where we are. All right. I don't know how the sound will come across. I may end up having to cut some bits. So I apologize in advance for anything being wonky or weird cuts. I probably need to turn my volume up so I can hear what they're saying. Are there any captions? Nope. I don't want it that loud though. Hopefully this doesn't mess with my mic. I apologize if it does. Again, I'll edit things as I need to. I already saw another video I need to first look at. Sorry. This is a Bigfoot encounter that I am watching. At the Hollow. That's what I'm just going to call it, the Hollow. Oh, motion sickness. Sorry, I'm looking intensely, and I'm trying to make sure that what I'm looking at is... just trees and stuff. Make this a little bit bigger if I can. That didn't help much. I feel like I would have seen this somewhere. Maybe this popped up on like one of the Slap Ham videos or something that I watched all the time. 3 years ago. I wouldn't necessarily remember. I keep seeing other things that now I want to like click on. You guys know me. I can't just research like a normal person. I have to research like a squirrel-brained person and go with every single little thought train. I do have this turned down kind of low for the volume, so again, hopefully it doesn't mess with you guys too much. And my microphone. I'm still not seeing Bigfoot anywhere. It does seem like they're purposely looking for a Bigfoot. I feel like I need my little sassy Sasquatch brought over here to hang out with us. Just chilling on the bookshelf. Bookcase? Whatever you want to call it. What is up with this filming? Like, you guys, did y'all see that, like, fucking wiggle? Do not respond in sound lyrics. I hope this also records correctly, because sometimes things don't record correctly off YouTube. I saw no Bigfoot. Did you guys see a Bigfoot? I saw no Bigfoot. I'll try watching it again, like on my TV, where it's giant and enormous, but I saw no Bigfoot. So, that is that. All right. He just said that there's an origin story for the area. Like, universe origin. See, creature. All right, origins. Let us see. Cherokee origin. I'm just kind of skimming a few of these origin stories that I have Unfortunately, these aren't tagged necessarily with specific um, tribes. So, like the first one said Cherokee, but this next one didn't say. But I'm guessing this one might be further down south because it says after the Mexicans he made, or after the Indians he made the Mexicans. The north. Should I have possibly listened a bit more what he was saying to try and figure out which story I needed to look for? Probably. This references the wildcat and the coyote and chicken hawk. Wait, no. Chicken hawk's her husband. Right. Oh. Is this it? Oh, this is about islands. I'm trying not to knock over my coffee in the process. Keep hitting it so I can shift. Alright, I might need a little bit more. Alright, listen to what he has to say a little bit more before. I wish he gave us the name of the spirits. It might be easier for me to locate if it's in my book or not. Interesting.
Landscapes of South Dakota, the people, places, and experiences that make us and our state unique.
I love how, like, y'all, I get it, I'm white. But I love how white that sounded. Wow, I'm going over Native American legends. It's just like such a, sound more white. That's neither here nor there. That was nice though, because it did give me some pronunciations. Because we all know I'm bad with them, and I don't like to butcher, especially Indigenous people, Native Americans. I really don't want to butcher your guys' names for things because that just is extra rude. I don't know. I'd rather butcher something that is English than in another language. But let's see. I am going to pause right fast to make sure my camera and everything is recording correctly. And if it is, then I'll start back up again. And if it's not, then you guys aren't going to see any of this anyways. And it's not going to matter. Way it goes. Let's see. I just recorded trying to use like my webcam and my browser and try and share everything the way I've done it when I've been on stream. And you guys, can nothing be easy for Lily? I'm literally looking at my screen and the space where you should see me. It's just a black square. I don't know what happened. I did want to show you guys on the map where we are. I was flipping through. I've got a couple of books about like travel in the US. I've got a guide to state parks and scenic highways and byways. These are a bit old. I think these are like from 2010, 11, maybe even later. Of course, though, like the very first pages I'm looking at are not the right ones to give me anything. Well, there's that. But I don't know when these books came out. I'll have to look. Because it doesn't say on here. But I've had them for forever. I just kind of wanted to point out to you guys on the map where we are, because this is actually kind of funny to me. So we are in South Dakota. Hopefully you guys can see this really well. If not, I apologize. But like right here is all of the scenic highway and byways that it talks about, and we are basically up here in the page fold. That is where we are. Now I talked about the Bigfoot that people saw spiritually. That was right about here, so a lot closer to the supposed scenic places to go. But I did just want to show you that there wasn't anything of information in this book. But again, it's really cool if you do like to travel, or you just want to travel one day like me. Now the town that is closest to this, I'm going to try and say this. I got this pronunciation from Amanda, so she actually recommended that I look into South Dakota and into Sica Hollow, and it is Sisseton. Is the city that it's near. You guys know that I can't wrap my mouth around certain words. Now there is a fort that you can go visit, apparently, Fort Sisseton. And again, this is old. It's not like super old. Let's see if this has a date. Okay, so yeah, this is the 2011 version. So it's, 13 years old, but I'm sure it's still there. It talks about how there's a visitor center, camping, and all that kind of stuff. So while no information on really what we're looking for other than just location to see if there was anything there, I'm trying to see. The fort was constructed because of the Minnesota Indian Uprising of 1862. So that is interesting. I'm just doing a quick skim. It doesn't mention our area in particular, but it is just good information to have. I have a sticky note with the pronunciation of Sisseton. I'm probably still going to say it wrong, and weirdly, I apologize. No, I don't apologize. Again, we all know my mouth can't wrap around certain words, and in some cases, it's just far better that I don't even try. But this is the Guide to State Parks of the United States and Canada, or Canadian provincial parks. So, all right. So those are put away. I actually put my books back on my bookshelf. You guys, you should be proud of me. That never happens. And I did it on camera. Wow, I'm extra proud of myself. So you guys now have proof that I do occasionally put things away like I'm supposed to. I'm going to take out the state park and we're going to say 1970s. All right. Leif Erikson. Let's see what they just have to say. I'm trying to remember if I've been on this site before. I'm sure I probably have. Like I said, I started this in January. I've done some minor research on my own. Oh, they got a lot of books that they've put out. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not getting distracted. I'm getting distracted very easily. But. Oh, there's a ghost town? I have to keep my sticky notes handy so I can add them and then not like actually be. All right. What's this ghost town? Hillhead. Basically, I just want to have this note of the ghost town so that way I can come back to it later and look at it and look it up. And my sticky notes don't want to de-sticky themselves. Where are we with this? Me having problems placing a sticky note that I can remove at any point in time. Whatever. Oh my god, I'm having all kinds of issues. Hang on. Hi, if this is your first time ever tuning in, I have massive squirrel brain and I get distracted easily, in case you haven't noticed. If you've actually made it this far and this is your first time, I am impressed. I get distracted easily. I run my mouth easily. Maybe it is better I do this stuff on stream because even then when I'm distracted, it's because we're having conversations and I'm not just mesmerized by absolutely everything I see. And again, I'm trying to read while I'm talking. Sica does mean bad or evil. I've mentioned that in the previous stuff, but again, you guys don't have to watch all of that. You'll hear it again at least a third time when I do my wrap up. Throughout the hollow, mounds of dirt rise up between the trees where no animals will go. That's interesting. So we have mounds of dirt where no animals will go. I apologize if you guys can hear my computer running very loudly. It was doing that before I even started recording. My computer's old. All right, so where was I looking? Oh, I just lost it. All right, right here. Mounds of dirt. See, this is actually interesting with the no animals will go because, like in the case of the Devil's Tramping Ground, as much as I hate that particular location, you know, they have an area where things don't grow. Things grow. But it's not a no animals will go there. So I find this interesting. I wonder if that's true or not. Like if you had, and again, this is like if you could take your dog with you, but it's a state park. They might not even allow, dogs. Like, could you get your dog on a leash to walk through these areas, or would your dog fight you? Would your doggo just happily run through these mounds? How big are these mounds? Are they body sized or are they building sized? I'm now really curious about these mounds of dirt. All right. Talks about Robert Roy, who was the first whitey to make his home in the area in 1841. He actually has a cemetery named after him. I remember that from previous research. Found it a perfect place to live due to the abundant game that was in the area. The natives thought he was crazy for building a home in that area, and they would not step foot into the ravine that he built his home. Only a fool would build his house on haunted, cursed grounds. If you think about it, though, all of the U.S. is cursed native land, so shouldn't be building anywhere. Let's see. Years passed. Eventually, an expedition of soldiers from nearby Browns Valley, Minnesota, set out. Oh, I may have jokingly, in my streams, talked about how I like to kid about the Minnesotan accent. It says that after a few days of searching, the troops finally found Roy, and after speaking with him, agreed that he must be crazy to live in such a haunted place. What was he seeing? Because, I mean, there must be something. All right. Hikers went missing in the 1970s, were never found. Many people joined the search. Some of the party admitted to there to look for a Bigfoot creature. Sorry, my brain sometimes like slightly dyslexic, but my brain will also like read things faster than I can say them, so it screws them up when I'm trying to say them out loud. Anywho, they were looking for a Bigfoot. Skeptics say there was nothing more than a bear that had found its way into the hollow. However, no bear or bear evidence has ever been found. During the Civil War, troops were moving the natives towards reservations, but one group didn't want to leave their home, and the army could not convince them to leave. The medicine man told the army that they would never be forced out, and if they tried, the land would be cursed. The army chased the natives into the hollow, but the natives were never seen again. Climbing up from the grassy prairie, these jagged and rough forested hills and hollows were formed after the last great glacier receded less than 20,000 years ago. Name translates to Great Hills. I'm trying to describe the Sica Hollow to someone who's never been there. It's like trying to describe the northern lights or a lightning storm to someone who's never experienced them. This is cool. This particular location actually influenced two of his books that are over here. Well, now I just want to buy the book. That's really why I can't research. I just want to buy books. All right. It's kind of nice that there's more people who are doing kind of the same thing with what I'm doing with the research. But it often seems like it's just the same information. Yeah, this is the same exact information. See, here it says black bears were common in South Dakota. We actually have black bears locally. There's a little black cat saying hello. Hey, Bazoo. Can I continue talking? Thank you. And I open my mouth and he starts meowing back at me. Hang on. All right. No, you can't get up here with me. All right. But black bears, the ones I've seen locally aren't too big. I don't really have, much to really compare them with. But I mean, the one I saw was, smaller than a car. So, and that one was actually relatively close to where I was living at the time. Like, a little bit terrifyingly close because I had a collie and a chihuahua at the time. But again, it's saying that they never found any bears, missing people, or bear evidence. There are pockets of quicksand. We talked about quicksand with the Gray Man and how quicksand isn't like how we think of quicksand in the movies. It's, you can get out usually if you don't panic, but you never know. This could be more of a swampier quicksand possibly because it is More of a swampier area. There are natural springs. Oh, sorry, numerous springs. My brain can't read. Nobody's ever really wanted to live there, and it became a national preserve and state park because people were too creeped out by the eerie feeling of the woods. In more recent years, campers have heard drums, war cries, and whooping Sioux warriors. Ghostly campfires spotted from the trails have also been told. Reports of seeing hairy beasts lurking in the dark woods. One reporter during the 8 Mile Trail saw blood red water, which I already talked about, heard strange noises. Again, iron deposits in the water. Also, too, with the lights, campfires. On the previous sources I had, you've got swamp gases, will-o'-the-wisp, and then glow-in-the-dark stumps that can happen with different mosses and things like that. Will-o'-the-wisp, I talked about briefly. I didn't talk about it. I read about it in the Mako Light reading I did. In that case, where they determined that what people were seeing were not that. I don't know if tests were done here to determine if that was the case, swamp gases being what people are seeing or not. Even talked about it in Bachelor's Grove Cemetery because they do have like a lake over there that in swampy areas that release gas and can cause some of the orbs people see. Trapped swamp gases can, when they are released, sound very human-like. In my members chat yesterday, Robert and I were discussing how even coyotes and foxes can sound human too whenever they are making noises, like their cries and stuff or their laughter. I don't know what animals. Let's see. Let's hear. What are the native animals to the area? Like how I put native and then to the area because it's me. But no, I want to know what animals live locally because that can also help explain away a lot of what people hear. If people are seeing a hairy beast, even if they haven't found black bears, it could be something like that. It could be something else. Oh, shoot. I have it. I'm going to look at my phone right fast. I have a list of random things I want to share with you guys. If I can find it. There we go. I have some quick links. So Atlas Obscura did the enduring enigma of alien big cats. And with this one, it just talks about, like, I think how large cats that aren't native to an area might be in an area. Let me look. I hate this is on my phone, but I'm not like logged in on this to be able to pull it up. Screw it. Let's see. Atlas Obscura is one of the websites that I subscribe to email newsletters for, and I do really enjoy a lot of what they post because they have really cool bits of information. I will not get distracted. I will not get distracted. Trying to see if it's around. close out of stuff on my phone so I don't have multiple devices distracting me. I do have multiple devices distracting me right now. We're not going to do this up. All right. And then my computer freezes. I like when my stuff just jumps, so then I have to scroll and find where it was. All right, let's see. So this is about someone being in Illinois and getting attacked by an African lion in 1917. Trying to scroll down to the information that I am looking for. I like this. One sometimes comes across depictions of what are known as phantom felines or alien big cats, ABCs for short. These sightings are not new. I'm just trying to skim and see if it gives any information. Like I read this, a couple of weeks ago. So I'm sorry. I think it says they can somehow support themselves in ecosystems where they do not belong. Like, what creature, when faced with live or starve to death, is not going to figure out a way to live? I do like this. What's more important, they can do so without being detected. They basically just keep to themselves. Let's see. So this original story that they started with, no lion was ever found, nor were there any kind of plausible explanations for what happened. Might have been an escaped lion from a zoo but they don't know. No zoo is reporting a missing animal. So yeah, it's basically just humans either, having them in zoos and they get out, or traveling circuses. I mean, even here in Wilmington, we have Topsy. She was a elephant that was part of a traveling circus. She got out and destroyed part of downtown, went swimming in the river. This is like in the 1920s or 10s or something. Like, I think it was 1920s. It's not an uncommon thing for animals to get out. In the case of the elephant locally, she did get captured and put back with her circus and fed peanuts. Apparently she had an attitude problem. But so yeah, sometimes it's things like that. Sometimes it's people who shouldn't own certain exotic animals owning them. Makes me think of a local zoo that I do not like. So I was recording, and I don't even know how much time of research I lost. The way I'm recording right now, I have a small limit of 30 minutes, and I rambled well past that. I noticed at least 5 or 10 minutes after my stuff stopped recording that it had stopped recording. Um, so you're gonna have a weird cut, or I mean, you saw the weird cut. It ended, and I guess I'm done for today. I don't have any more time to record and go back and do the other things, so we're gonna try it again later on this week, hopefully, and we shall see. So I'm doing some quick research on Sica Hollow in South Dakota, and I'm watching a video. It's actually not even like a spooky one or anything. It's a couple was camping for the weekend, and I like this because it gives me a look at the area where people would be camping, what they might see, why they may see certain things or hear certain things. Um, but I do find it interesting for a place that's supposedly very incredibly haunted that nobody would want to go there because you hear just terrifying things in the middle of the night. There's a lot of campgrounds, it seems, around, so that's neat. But it is also really cool because they did a drone shot so you could see the whole area, and I find it really cool that it really is like a forest oasis kind of thing around just all this plain land. So that's neat. I always like seeing things like that because it gives perspective that you don't always get in horror or supernatural or ghost videos or postings. They don't really show you what it would be like just to be a mundane person going for a hike, and camping for the night. And this does. So that's neat. So I'm watching another YouTube video on Sica. Oh my god, really? Sica Hollow. I swear to God, I'm never going to get this thing right. But it's another person who's hiking through the park. It's actually the Haunted Grove podcast. But they admit they're not like ghost hunters or anything like that. They're just, walking through an area that's known to be haunted. But one thing I wanted to point out right fast before I forget to include this in my research, I had to write it down. But I wanted to put it on video too, was that they mentioned how eerily quiet it is walking through. You don't hear a lot of nature sounds. Like if you are familiar with wooded areas, they are out in November. It is South Dakota. I don't really know how cold it is at that point in time. Here it's still relatively mild, being on the coast, but there's no snow on the ground or anything like that. You can't see the ruts, so I'm assuming it's not cold enough for all of the animals to be hibernating or anything like that. So I do find it interesting that there aren't nature sounds that you'd expect for that time of year and temperature and location to hear. So this is 100% me just being silly. But like looking at this photo, I am surprised nobody has called this a ghost because it's very clearly a sunspot. Like you come out, you can tell it's a sunspot, but I'm genuinely surprised that I haven't seen a photo like this with somebody saying that this bright little spot right here is a ghost, and it's just because we have come across so many photos that would have done that with a shadow or, honestly, just anything. But it makes me giggle.